Okay, let's talk about the 14th numerical. The 14th numerical asks if the formula for physical quantity is given by x equal to, okay, I'll write here. This is our 14th numerical. Formula is given by x equal to a raised to 4 b cube, a raised to 4 b cube upon c 1 by 3 d raised to c raised to 1 by 3 d raised to half. This is the formula of a physical quantity, and percentage error in measuring a. Percentage error in measuring a means what? Delta a upon a. This value is given how much? 2%. Delta b upon b is how much? 3%. Delta c upon c, relative error in measuring c means what? Delta c upon c is 3%, and delta d upon d is how much? It is 4%. What they are asking? Calculate percentage error in x. Calculate, okay, percentage error in x. That is, you have to find delta x upon x percent. Okay. Now understand this. Look at this formula and understand. When you take delta x upon x, this equation will become 4 times delta a upon a plus 3 times delta b upon b plus 1 by 3 times delta c upon c plus half times delta d upon d. So that part I am writing here. Be careful and understand this. Delta x upon x will be a raised to 4 means 4 times delta a upon a plus 3 times delta b upon b plus 1 by 3 c raised to 1 by 3. So 1 by 3 times delta c upon c plus 1 by 2 times delta d upon d. Now all of you know these values are already given. This is the given part. In given part these values are already given. What is delta a upon a? 4 into 2% plus 3 into delta b upon b, 3% plus 1 by 3 into 3% plus half into 4%. Now common sense, 4 into 2 is what? 8. 8% plus 9% plus 1% plus 2%. Add this, 9 plus 1 10, 10 plus 8, it becomes 20%. So relative error in measuring x is what? 20%. Okay. So this is a numerical 14th which we solved. Hope it's very easy to understand. Okay. We are now solving the 5th numerical. Now the general formula for radius of a nucleus is 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 16 a raised to 1 by 3. Now we all know what is meant by a. A stands for atomic mass number, or simply we call it as atomic mass. Okay. This value is constant and this is what? The atomic mass. So as atomic mass changes, the radius of nucleus will definitely change. Now in this numerical, what they have asked, nuclear radius r has dependence on mass number a, as r equal to 1 by 3, 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 16 a raised to 1 by 3 meter. Okay, this is not meter. What they are asking you, For a nucleus of mass number A equal to 125, the order of magnitude R expressed in meter will be dash. They are asking you to find order of magnitude. Now for A equal to 125, okay, radius will become how much? Radius will be 1.3 into 10 raised to minus 16 into 125 raised to 1 by 3. Correct? Now 125 raised to 1 by 3 means actually cube root of 125, and cube root of 125 is 5. So what you get? 1.3 into 5 into 10 raised to minus 16. Okay, and this becomes 6.5 into 10 raised to minus 16. Okay, now according to the rule of order of magnitude, according to the rule for what? Order of magnitude, what we write? The rule states that the value should be between 0.5, the value of R should be greater than, equal to 0.5 or less than 5. This is our rule to decide what? Order of magnitude. Now see this value 6.5, it is greater than 5, so I have to decrease this and bring it in this range. So I shift the decimal point. When you shift the decimal point, what you get? Okay, the radius R will be written as 0.65 into 10 raised to minus 15. Okay, and now the rule gets satisfied. 0.65 comes between this. Okay, and so the order of magnitude will be minus 15. Okay, 10 raised to minus 15. So order of magnitude is minus 15. That's our answer. Okay. Okay. Let us now solve the numerical 3. Now what is given in numerical 3? An electron with charge E enters a uniform magnetic field B with a velocity v. Okay, the velocity is perpendicular to the magnetic field. The force on the charge E is given by dash, that is given F equal to BeV. Obtain dimensions of B. Okay, now F stands for force acting on a charge. When a charge moves in magnetic field, it with a velocity v, it experiences a force given by F equal to BeV, which we will learn in the coming chapters. Okay, this formula we will learn in the coming chapters, but presently they have given this formula. They are asking you to find the dimensions of B. B stands for magnetic field or magnetic induction. Better we say magnetic induction. Okay, so what you have to find? To find, okay, dimensions of B. Okay, this you have to find. Now we should already know first dimensions of F, E and V. So in the given or in the solution, I'll directly write solution. Dimensions of force, I'll write in a square bracket. Dimensions are always written in a symbol in a square bracket. Dimension of force will be L1 M1 T raised to minus 2. This is the dimension of what? Force. Similarly, dimension of velocity. Hope you remember the dimension for velocity. Meter per second. So L1 M0 and T raised to minus 1. And lastly, dimensions of charge. Charge is nothing but dimension of charge is dimension of current into dimensions of time. Current into time. So automatically you can tell me what will be the dimensions of charge. I into T. So L0 M0 I1 T raised to 1. This is the dimension of what? Dimensions of charge. Now our formula B will be F upon EV. Therefore, dimension of B will be dimension of F upon dimension of E into dimension of V. Okay. Now what we'll do? Simply put the value. F is what? L1 M1 T raised to minus 2. E is what? L0 M0 I1 T1. And lastly, what is the value of V? V is given by L1 M0 T raised to minus 1. L1 M0 T raised to minus 1. Correct? Now you bring each term. Dimension of B will be, first you look at L. 1 minus 0 minus 1. When you bring the power of numerator in denominator in numerator, it becomes negative. So 1 minus 1 will be 0, and this is also 0, so L raised to 0. M, 1 is there, minus 0, okay, 0 you bring in the numerator, 0 remains 0, so there is no change in what? M, L0 M1. I, when you bring I from the denominator in the numerator, it will become what? I raised to minus 1. I raised to minus 1. And time, T raised minus 2. And 1 and minus 1 become 0. So simply minus 2. So this is the dimensions. These are the dimension of what? B. L0 M1 I raised to minus 1 T raised to minus 2. Okay. But in textbook, they have given a wrong dimension. They have written L1 M0, which is wrong. Please do the correction in your textbook. This is our correct answer. Okay, this is our correct answer in textbook. They have given the wrong answer. Do the correction, please. We will now solve numerical 6th. Okay. In a workshop, a worker measures the length of a steel plate with vernier calipers having least count 0.01 centimeter. 4 such measurements of length yield the following values: 3.11 centimeter, 3.13, 3.14, 3.14 centimeter. Find mean length, the mean absolute error, and the percentage error in measured value. Okay. So I am starting this numerical. Look at the board. It is numerical 6th. Okay. Now what are the values given? I'll write the values as A1, A2, A3, A4. Okay. These are the length of the. So I'll write, suppose L1. L1 is what? 3. First value is 3.11. L2 is 3.13 centimeter. L3 is 3.14 centimeter, and last is also, so L3 is, and this is also 3.14 centimeter. Okay. Now first of all, I'll write mean value, mean length. How you find mean length? Simple, take the average of it. L mean will be addition of all this: 3.11 plus 3.13 plus 3.14 plus 3.14, the whole divided by 4. When you add all this, the value will definitely come out to be 339, 12 point, okay, 28 and 4, 32, 12.52 upon 4. This comes out to be 3.14. Okay, sorry, 3.13. So the value is 3.13. Now I will find delta L1 will be modulus of L1 minus L mean delta L2 is equal to L2 minus L mean delta L3 equal to L3 minus L mean, and last delta L4 equal to L4 minus L mean. The modulus sign indicates that all the values will be taken as positive. The first is what? 3.13 minus 3.11, and that comes out to be 0.02. In the second case, it will be what? 3.13 minus 3.13, which comes out to be 0. In third case, 3.14 minus 3.13, 0.01. And in last case, again 3.14 minus 3.13 comes out to be 0.01. Okay. So all the four values of delta L1, delta L2, delta L3 are found. Okay. These values I got. Let's now find mean absolute error. Okay. Mean absolute error. Okay. And how we do that? Delta L mean will be delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3 plus delta L4, the whole upon 4. What gives you that? You get this as 0.02 plus 0 plus 0.01 plus 0.01, the whole divided by 4. 0.04 upon 4 is 0.01. I got mean absolute error delta L mean. Delta L mean. Okay. Now finally, what you have to find? Percentage relative error. Okay. Percentage relative error will be delta L mean upon L mean into 100%. Okay. So 0.01 upon 3.13. Okay. 0.01 divided by 3.13. This comes out to be 0 into 100 into 100. This comes out to be, on calculating this, okay, by log tables we will calculate this, and it comes out to be 0.31%. Okay, you can do by calculator presently and you will get this answer. In textbook they have given the wrong answer. Please do the correction. The correct answer is 0.31%. Okay, so that is our sixth numerical.